Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Michele Cobb, Executive Director of the Podcast Academy, and we are here today to take you through what we've done for the last year, introduce board members, incoming, outgoing, and continuing, and then take your questions. Should be fairly breezy, but put any questions that you have in the Q&A box, not the chat box, so that I can see them. And we do have closed captioning enabled. If you would like that, you can turn it on your local machine. All right, you all know the TPA community because you are members, and we are so pleased to have you. Our mission statement, of course, is to support podcast makers and be advancing the cultural medium of podcasting. And we do that through awards, through the celebration of excellence, and through the achievement of excellence through our own educational and networking program. We are a new organization, so we're still managing things and discovering things about ourselves. We have lots of fantastic board members, 19 in fact, that are heavily representative of independent podcasting and more than 50% female, and many of whom are outside of the main hubs that people might think of podcasting in, New York and LA. All right, this was our 23-24 Board of Governors. Their term ends April 30th, which is coming up quick. Here's a picture of many of the board members together at the Ambies this year. We hope you are either there or joined us virtually from our YouTube channel. I'm going to turn things over to Donald Albright to talk about the Executive Committee.
Thanks, Michele. What's up, everybody? Thank you for being here, and thanks for being members. Executive Committee, had the pleasure of working with this talented group for a while. I've been chair of Executive Committee for 3 years now. Executive Committee is where we make most of the decisions for TPA that do not need board approval. Many of the decisions that do need board approval we'll go over in our monthly board meetings. But oftentimes there are ideas that come out of those meetings that are then passed on to the executive committee for us to talk through, figure out the best process, and push forward. So we try to keep the train on the tracks, keep things moving in the right direction. We also oversee, review, and approve the budgets. And that's pretty much executive committee, and it's a committee that is open only to members, where some of our committees are actually open to I'm sorry, executive committee is open only to board members to be part of executive committee, whereas other committees are open to members to join. So we would love for you all to not only take your membership from a member to applying to run for the board, and one day join the executive committee. I think that's it.
Thanks, Donald. All right. Donald mentioned the state of the, finances being part of the executive committee. So here are our finances for the last year. You'll notice that we were negative for last year, but we had money in the bank to cover that, and we continue to watch our finances and expenses and raise plenty of money. You'll notice that we have almost $358,000, I can speak today, in the bank, and that was for prepaid stuff like paying for the Ambies in 2024. We collect that money in 2023, but we put it towards expenses in 2024 itself. All right, the governance committee. This is the committee that really does things like make sure all of our policies and procedures are up to date and helps us run the elections. Me, Tucker, who was our chair this past year, will continue on as our chair in the upcoming year. This is the other committee that is closed just to be board members, but we are always happy for input. And if you think that there are any policies that are missing that we should add, we would be happy to hear from you. The governance committee ran the election. So this is all of our 2024-2025 governors. There are 19 total, so it takes me 2 slides. And it's a very exciting and engaged group. If you watched the pitches on the ballot. Everybody was super enthusiastic, and we're really excited to have a number of new people join us with new energy and ideas. All right, the awards committee. Last I checked, Steve was not here, so I will jump in here. First of all, this is a mixed committee of governors and other members, and we do encourage you to join. If you're interested in working on awards for the 2025 awards, now is the time to join. When I get done talking, I'll put a link in the chat to where you can join our committees. We are very excited to announce that we had a Spanish language subcommittee, including one of our board members, Juleka, and an incoming board member who helped us put together language around adding a Spanish language ambie. So that will be coming out and updating on the website soon. We'll be opening for ambie submissions later this summer, but one of the new options will be a Spanish language ambie. Just one to start, but a great place to begin. This year we had over 1,700 submissions. Those of you who have participated as Blue Ribbon panelists, we cannot thank you enough. We have 2 rounds of Blue Ribbon panel judging. The first round, narrows the pool down to a smaller pool, and the second round narrows it down to the 7 nominees in each category, or 10 in Podcast of the Year. So we had over 125 Blue Ribbon panelists who all filled out very important procedures to make sure that they were not judging anything that they worked on. Everyone who's a Blue Ribbon panel judge is a member of the Podcast Academy, and we thank you with a discount on your membership for the next year. Wow, it was over 4,000 hours of podcast listening that was done to get us to the winners. And we, of course, try to balance everything out as to who's judging. So it's not 2 of me judging one category, or not 2 of Donald's, or not 2 of anyone else. If you were there in person, we're so glad to have you. Trixie Mattel was an amazing host this year, and we had so much energy and excitement, which we loved. We were in Los Angeles as part of Podcast Movement, and we were also live on our YouTube channel. So we'll be working with potential streaming partners for next year to expand our audience there as well, and look for announcements coming as we figure out the date and location of the 2025 Ambies. That should be announced later this spring. All right, I think I said everything here, but it was great to have 600 people there in person. And we had 192 nominees across 27 different categories, as well as we feted Ira Madison III for the Impact Award and Malcolm Gladwell for the Governor's Award. All right, I'm going to turn things over to Ilana for the Membership Marketing Committee and the Sponsorship Committee.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. So we actually recently just merged the Membership and Marketing Committees. You probably know folks from the Membership Committee. If you've joined in the last 2 years, you got a welcome email from somebody on the committee showing you sort of how to navigate TPA and offer to make introductions. We, as a merge committee, really look at ways we can amplify everything that Podcast Academy is doing, from promoting the Ambies, getting, more entries, getting you to join and to tell your friends to join. What sort of events are we able to do beyond the webinars, which are great from an especially educationally, but just from a networking perspective. So if there's anything you think we could be doing more of, we would love to hear it. This is a committee open to anyone in the TPA. So if that's something you're interested in, we would love to have you.
Thanks, Ilana. And I'll turn things over to Donald to talk sponsorships.
I'm back. Not only chair of TPA, but I also raised my hand this past year to be chairperson for sponsorship committee. And that's for one, I think, a very good reasons, because I think the sponsorship committee is the most important committee that we have, because the success of the sponsorship committee allows other committees to be successful, right? We can't throw an award show without money. We can't have educational programming without a good budget. We can't market our products to members, our potential members, without having a budget. So also wanted to just lead by example. And I think we all give so much and it's not always seen. So it's great to kind of be here with fellow governors and members, and want to encourage you all to, serve on as many committees and subcommittees as you possibly can, because we need the help. And again, sponsorship committee, we were able to, I mean, we're here. So we raised enough money to have a great and successful Ambies, and we are talking about what we're going to do for the 5th year anniversary, as well as just the program that's going to be coming over the next year. So extremely important committee. What we are doing next year is opening this committee up very specifically to members of our membership community who are well versed in sponsorship and fundraising. Because again, the more money we can raise, the more benefits we can offer to our members.
That is so true. Thank you, Donald. And I'd just like to take a moment to acknowledge all of the amazing sponsors that we have, everyone from The Hollywood Reporter, Audible, Dolby, Campside, Podcast Show, London in 2024. We hope to see you there. We will have a booth, Tenderfoot TV, and our other sponsors, including Outfront, Castbox, CNN Collection, Podglomerate, Radio, and our community building sponsor, Wondery, which helps us provide for our mentorship program and our education. And I will ask Alana to jump back in on that committee as well. Or maybe I lost her.
Nope, I'm here. So actually these were, these were the additional merging of committees. We're all one big happy family now. Also open to anyone who's a member and wants to get involved. But I kind of touched on this also on the marketing slide, because everything does go so hand in hand. So how can we get members more engaged? What other educational offerings can we have for our members? And really just, again, amplifying what those opportunities are, and what aren't we doing that you'd like us to be doing? We really want to hear from you.
Thanks. And we do meet what is this, the 3rd Wednesday of every month at 11 a.m. Eastern. So lots to there. This outlines some of those programs that Ilana was talking about. We have virtual networking events, and in fact, we'll have some coming up with governors in May, June, and July. So you could have a chance to meet Jen Sargent or Christy Maribel or several of our other board members. So we encourage you to join those. We do have educational masterclasses. We've got one coming up in Spanish from Edison Research, and we'll be doing one on pitching soon as well. And then, of course, our mentorship programs runs twice a year. The current season ends in May, and the next season will be opening up this summer to run throughout the fall. This year we did 10 in-person events, networking, people meeting up all over the country, 24 virtual networking events, and 15 virtual education events. We'd like to thank AIR and the BIPOC podcast creators for going in on programming with us. And here are those upcoming events that I was talking about. So these are all on the website at any time, and you can register as a member. Some of them are open to non-members. So for instance, the April 30th event with Ariel Nissenblatt, talking about video in podcasting. Should you do it? And if so, how? That will be an open event for anyone to attend. We look forward to seeing you at the Podcast Show London we'll be doing a panel there, and then we will be in DC, or Maryland, as it really is, for Podcast Movement as well. Don't have a booth number there yet. All right, one of the big things that we launched this year was our own podcast. We'd like to thank Chris Colbert and DCP Entertainment for partnering with us on this. Season 2 will be coming this summer, so look for that. In the meantime, we do have episodes up at all the places that you listen, and we're doing a blog posting about each of the episodes on our website as well. All right, if you're not following us on social media, we are on Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and Instagram, as well as having a YouTube channel, which is where you can find our educational programming. As a member, you have access to exclusive membership programming. If you log into the back end of the website, you can see additional videos there as well. All right, that's enough for me. We're going to take some questions. I'm going to ask all the board members to come on camera and open their mics. And I would just like you all to take a moment to introduce yourself and let us know if you're incoming, continuing, or outgoing board member. Donald, you're in the far right corner for me, so you can say hi again.
Hey, what's up? For the third time, Donald Albright, CEO, co-founder, Tenderfoot TV, Atlanta-based independent production studio, chairperson of the Podcast Academy for 3 years, chair of sponsorship committee, and I am a founding governor. So I've been here since the very beginning, 2020.
That's right.
Tracy, Michelle, have we talked about executive committee future yet? And when is that happening?
We will get to that in just
Okay.
a moment, actually,
Okay,
when we
good.
get to Christy.
All
All
right.
right. Alana, you're the next square for me, so if you would introduce yourself.
Sure. Alana, guys have met me now twice as well. I have a podcast marketing company called Herd of Media, and I also am over at Bloomberg running marketing and audience development for their podcast team. I have been on the board for 2 years and will be continuing for another 2 years. So thank you for your votes if you're out there watching.
Thank you. All right. Next up is Sierra.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sierra. I'm a part of the board, obviously, and the executive committee. It's my second year. Really excited for what's to come. I'm also a principal of Vision Media Partners. We oversee podcast business operations for Woolpacker Media and St. Jude. Who else? I can't think of our other clients. And yeah, I'm really excited for this year. I'm always down to connect. I'm on Slack, hit me up. And I'm also curious about what everyone else is doing, especially this year. We're coming out of a really tough time, but I'm excited about podcast still. So let me know, hit me up. Who do you want me to pass it to? How about Maddie? My buddy.
There you go.
Hi, Sierra. I was just about to chat with you, say we need to catch up. Hi, Maddie Stout. Old school, been in podcasting about 17 years, was on the founding team of Stitcher and the iHeart Podcast Network. My current company is Jam Street Media and Poddle.co. Go check that one out. It's brand new. I've been in the Podcast Academy since it started. And, I really got started early with joining committees, when I wasn't on the board. And I think it's a really good way, especially if you're thinking of doing more leadership stuff, is to become involved with their committees. So education is something really important to me. Mentorship's really important to me. Hit me up on LinkedIn. And I will always make time for TPA members if you need some advice or you want to chit chat about the industry. Happy always to do that, as is everyone who is a member of this board. This is a really important organization, and our members are the best way to find more members. So I encourage you all to spread the word, please.
All right. Let's see. Up next is Sangeeta for me.
Hi there, I'm Sangeeta Pillai. I run a Masala podcast, which is a South Asian feminist podcast. I also run Soul Sutras, which is the network, talks to South Asian women about kind of cultural taboos. This is my first year. I've just become a board member and I'm very excited. Told all my friends I'm now a board member of Podcast Academy. Everyone's really impressed. They don't know what it is, but they are very impressed. So for me, I'm very much about making podcasting more diverse. It isn't. I was at Podcast Movement in LA and there were very few women speaking on panels. There were negligible women of color speaking on panels. And kind of what I get really passionate about and excited about is changing that, because unless we make podcasting represent the people around the world, it's going to be a very small thing for a very small community. So that's kind of what gets me excited and passionate about. So anybody wants to talk to me about any of those things, reach out. Again, I'm on Slack, and I'm sure you'll find all our contact details. So very excited to be here.
Thanks. And next up is Christy. Christy is our incoming chair of the Podcast Academy. So she'll be leading the charge for us starting May 1st. Christy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Christy. By day, I'm the Senior Director of Audience Growth at SiriusXM. By night, I'm currently Vice Chair. And as Michele just mentioned, I'm going to be Chair of the Podcast Academy. So really excited to continue working on here. I've been, part of the board basically for 4 years now. I think I'm most excited about the fact that we needed something where everybody comes together and gets excited about podcasting, and all of our voices coming together and talking about things and getting excited and moving the mission forward. That's how we make change. So if anybody has any ideas, my door is open. I'm easily findable on LinkedIn, which is the easiest way to contact me. So I'm looking forward to hearing from folks.
That's fantastic. And in fact, we have most of the executive committee for next year here today. It'll be Christy as chair. It'll be Jen Sargent from Wondery as vice chair. Maddie is our secretary. Sierra is treasurer, and Alana will be our at-large member. All right, Jay, I'm turning things over to you.
Hey, hi, I'm Jay Green. I am Senior Vice President for Soundrise. I run our strategy and operations teams here. I am a continuing member of the Board of Governors for the Podcast Academy. I've been in podcasting since 2013. A lot of my time is spent working on educating larger brands and the holding company agencies to invest more into podcasting and understand that it's more than just the big shows. There's a lot to be said for the smallers and the independents, and that's going to help grow the medium as well. So excited to be continuing on.
All right, and turning things over to Martha. And Martha, also tell us the educational event you're working on.
Oh yeah, so I will. The end. Martha Little. I was 8 years at Audible as a senior creative development, officer. I've started my own company, doing consulting on podcast development. Managing creatives is a passion of mine. So if you have any issues with that, hit me up. I'm on LinkedIn as well. I've really enjoyed the years that I've been on the Podcast Academy. It's a great group of people, very inspiring, and putting together for you guys a group of very high level people who commission podcasts, and we will hear from them about what content they're looking for. I hope to do that by the end of May at the earliest, sometime in June at the latest. So look out for that.
Thank you. Next up is Valentina.
Hi, everyone. I'm Valentina Kaladina. I am an outgoing governor. My term is coming to an end. I was on the board as a member of governance committee for 2 years, had so much fun, learned a lot, and made a lot of valuable contacts. So I work at Castbox, which is a podcast app. I'm in charge of sales and business development. And I also consult media companies on how to improve revenue streams and how to diversify their revenue and improve the sales. I am based in London and looking forward to see everyone at London Podcast Show.
Yes, come to our panel. Valentina and Donald and Sangeeta will be talking about how to work through things in a volatile market. So it should be a really good panel. All right, next up is Brandon.
Hey guys, I'm Brandon Scheck-Snyder. I have a show called Southern Gothic and do production services for independent podcasters in kind of the true crime and history space. And incoming member, and I'm based out of the Nashville area.
Thank you. Next up is Alejandro.
Everyone, I'm Alejandro Vargas. I'm from Colombia. I'm based right now at the moment in Los Angeles. So my base is Bogota. And a short story, I remember last year I've been in Mexico when I listened about the TPA in a panel with Michele and Donald. At this event, in my case, opened my eyes, not only for me, for everybody, for Latin markets, because I'm sure, and I think the Latin markets need professionalization, need, for example, special words from Jay, educate the agencies, educate the market, different stage about this. This year, I'm approved, and I feel very happy because I'm be a part of a governance committee, and this is the first step to improve my markets and learn about everybody from a TPA. And it's a pleasure to me to know everybody. That's it.
Thank you. And thanks for helping us put together that Spanish language Ambie. All right, last but not least, another incoming board member, Fallon, and then we'll take some questions.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fallon. I'm based out of Los Angeles. I run my own podcast entertainment company called Hello Fallon Entertainment, where we consult and develop podcasts. Formerly worked at Westbrook, but just happy to be excited as a member of the board.
Very exciting. All right, we've got some questions. Someone is asking about the committees. What kind of time commitment is required, and what are the key activities involved for each committee? So this year, we're opening up for 3 different committees to the membership: awards, sponsorship, and marketing. So each of those committees generally meets about once a month for 1 hour. And if you're on a committee like marketing, there are some offline activities. So if you can't make the meeting, we do welcome emails to people. We are looking for people to write blog posts and to put together panels. So if you're interested in marketing, but you can't necessarily make a monthly meeting at the same time every month, there's plenty to do there. What I tell most people is it's about an hour a month with meetings, and then 1 to 3 hours per month of offline activities, depending on your committee. For sponsorship committee, this is newly open to members. So if you are in fundraising and would like to help us there, just go ahead and fill out the form that I put in the chat box. All right. I've answered that one. The committees do not meet on the weekends. I understand if it is hard for people to meet during the day, that's okay. We encourage you to join the marketing committee, where a lot of those activities can be offline, or you can be involved in researching something like, hey, we're looking to expand what we're doing with social media and looking for a new partner there, all of that. The mentorship program, which is going to launch in the summer, we will have on our mentorship page and in our e-newsletter a reminder about applications. You can be a mentor or a mentee. The key pieces of the puzzle for that are over a 3-month period. We have about 10 to 11 hours of commitment time meeting between mentor and mentee. If you're a mentor, you might have 1 mentor with up to about 4 mentees. And then we encourage those mentees in that group to meet and connect together whenever they can. And then for the mentees, you're working on your action items and all of that. And then throughout the 3-month season, we have check-in meetings where we just see how things are going for you and give you a chance to network with each other. So again, probably in late June or early July, we will have those applications. If you are interested in an area that you look to grow in, please apply to be a mentee. If you have expertise in an area, you can apply to be a mentor. And oftentimes you have more expertise than someone else does in that area. So don't be afraid to apply, even if you're fairly early in your journey. All right, other questions are coming in. What are the benefits of joining TPA for independent podcasters? Hey, Maddie, I'd love for you to answer that question, as you work a lot with independent podcasters.
So, so there's so much to benefit if you're an independent podcaster, because you have the opportunity not only to connect with other independent podcasters who are going through all the same things you are, but also working in line with some of the folks that are working at the bigger companies, finding out what they're doing as well. I feel like as independents, we're the majority of the folks in the industry. So, as much as we can all connect and share advice, the mentorship program is huge. I've mentored quite a few independent podcasters. I've mentored quite a few folks who are at companies and they're deciding, hey, I want to go start my own thing. Don't do it. No, No, I'm just kidding. Go do it. But that's I mean, so the mentorship, don't think of it as just like, oh, I'm new and I need a mentor. No, our mentorship program is for people at all levels. I mean, I'm working with folks who are at jobs that a lot of people would like to have, but they want to go do something different. So we've matched them with a mentor who was doing that something different. So I just highly recommend it for anybody, especially, I think, this organization especially really is embracing independence. And you'll see a lot of people on the board may have big backgrounds from other companies, but they're doing their own thing and they're independent now and they know our struggle. So we're here for you.
Thank you. All right, one more question. Christy, I'm going to ask you to take this one because you were key in helping us start this organization. And that is, what is the ultimate goal of TPA?
So I've been, in the podcast community, I actually think I might be coming up on 10 years now. I have to look back at my resume, but it's been, a moment that I've been doing this. And I think what I love about being in podcasting is there are all so many wonderful different communities that I've gotten a chance to be part of at every stage of my career. And it's great. But I do find sometimes that people are so in all these different communities and the communities don't work together and everybody's kind of siloed that sometimes when things are important or when, for example, we want to stand behind shows, if we don't have a bigger voice, if we don't band together, we're not going to make change and we're not going to be able to inspire people that aren't listening to podcasts to listen to them. And so I think for me, I was really eager to start something like this so we could start bringing the whole family together so we can all start kind of working together on building the community. And I think if we build the community, we get excited about things, I also think we're going to grow the overall pool of listeners, which is something I'm personally excited about because I work in marketing. So in a nutshell, that's it.
And I would say a great example of that is our awards committee that has agents on it, has people from big companies, independents, and people from different areas that aren't creatively making podcasts but are involved in podcasting. All right. Someone asks, is there a mentorship committee? I can help with matching people. And what are the requirements for being a mentor? The marketing committee actually helps us with the outreach and oversight of the mentorship program. I'm going to put a link in the chat to everyone here for specifics about the mentorship program and what we are looking for. So obviously the spring season has closed, but we'll be running fall through November. And we are really trying to find people who have been in the podcasting space for at least 3 years. There's lots of links on there to review the program guide and get you all the information that you need. But I encourage you, if you're interested in helping with the mentorship program, please sign up for the marketing committee, which it looks like you did. Thank you so much. All right, let's other questions. That's all the questions so far. All right. I think we've done a great job of recapping the past year. We thank you to all of the governors for their massive engagement and time commitment. Obviously, those who are governors put in more time than the committee members, and we appreciate all that you do. Thanks to everybody who is becoming a member, supporting our programming. And if you know someone who should join, I encourage you to give them this code, JOIN24. Well, they will get 25% off their membership, just $75 for the first year. Don't forget to keep your eyes on our newsletters for all of the upcoming things. And we look forward to seeing many of you at the podcast show in London this year. Okay, there was another question. I was a judge for the Ambies. Would like to do it next year. Yes, if you have been a judge before, we will definitely reach out to you. Also, to anyone who is interested in being a Blue Ribbon panel judge. In the fall, keep your eyes on the e-newsletters. We put multiple calls out to have you apply. So we would love for many, many people to be involved. All right, any final words that you want to close us out here with, Donald?
No, just thank you everyone for your time and effort signing up for TPA and coming here to listen to learn more about what we do. And you're doing that because you want to get more involved. So we appreciate you all and the hard work. And what we're trying to do is make that playing field a little bit more level, bring some of our knowledge to the table. and make sure that, you know, the independent podcasters aren't forgotten as this industry grows bigger and bigger, which is a benefit to all of us. So yeah, looking forward to the new energy from the members and the incoming board as well, and looking forward to Christy taking us into the future.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great day.
Thanks, y'all.